السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My great pleasure to have you all today in this nice and very interesting subject regarding how to develop a winning strategy for HR in 2021. So it's very interesting subject, and I like to be, inshallah, to be more interactive session, and we are all if you have any question, please feel free to ask during the session or from now to answer it at the end of the session, as you like. Okay. So starting with this nice story that I found when I was trying to remember this this saying, who said this. So it was very funny to know that this was in the story of Alice in the Wonderland, and she was asking, what road do I take? And then the answer was, well, where are you going? I don't know. So if you don't know, so it doesn't matter. If you don't know where you are going, then any road will get you there. Okay, so I found this one is very much related to the topic that we are discussing today regarding the putting strategy for HR in 2021. So the main question was about defining strategy. What is strategy? Because many times we are using very nice terminologies, but we are not really sure about it. And each time, maybe you find different people having different meanings or different interpretation for the same word. So Wikipedia now is a source for a lot of definitions. So it's a general plan to achieve one or more long-term or overall goals under conditions of uncertainty. Okay, but to put it in more simple terms, the strategy is simply the goals you choose and the actions you take to achieve those goals. So mainly you're looking for what are your goals, okay, and what the actions you need to take to achieve these goals. So we have the same for the HR. So we think about what are you as an HR leader or HR professional, or even in any function, what are your goals, okay, that you want to achieve in the future. Okay, so the question is about why do we need a strategy? Okay, why do you need strategy? Okay, so as we said, we had this nice saying from Alice. Okay, do you need to know where are you going? Okay, if you are working on operations and it's daily business and daily operations, it's fine. You don't need to do anything. You can just continue on what you are doing, and that's fine for you if you are interested in this. But maybe you need to know your direction. Where are you going? Okay, you don't go each day to work. You don't know where are you going. You know where are you going. You know which road you are taking, and so on. So what about our daily work and about our work in general? Okay, do we need to have clear goals? Do we need to have clear direction? Are we going in the right direction or not? What's your purpose? Okay, why do you need an HR department? So if the owner or the GM or whatever, he said, "Halas, we don't need an HR department, so that's deleted." So you need strategy, okay, in general, to know your purpose, you know your direction. Okay, then you have to ask yourself, what's my purpose? What's my direction? Okay, these are important questions that you need to ask for yourself. Okay, so one of the most important things, okay, that you as an HR leader or HR professional need to answer this question. What's your mission? Why do you exist? What are you trying to achieve? So if you like, you can share with me your opinion, okay, in the chat box. Okay, why do you think we need an HR department? Okay, why do you think we need an HR department? Please let me know your opinion. Okay, Why do we need an HR department, or what's your mission as an HR leader or an HR professional? Okay. Can you please let me know in the chat box? I'm not seeing any comments. Hopefully things working, right? Why do we need an HR department? What do you think? What will be the value added to the organization? Managing people from hire to retire, including every phase in the cycle. That's very good. To ensure business objectives are met through ensuring high performance of individuals, the greatest assets of the company. Thank you so much, Ridwana, for having this answer, because the greatest assets, always say people are our greatest assets. But this is really true or what? That's the key challenge, okay? We'll be discovering whether they are the most important asset in the organization or not, okay? So that's very good. We have a lot of HR professions. I know that you have a lot of answers, okay, but you need to keep it for some time. Okay, I'll continue. Let me give you some example from Zen Group. I had the pleasure to be part of the dream team of Zen Group from 2007 till 2010. We worked in Zen Group. I was before in Zen Kuwait, and then I moved to Zen Group. And I really like my experience there. It was really very rich experience, because Zen was in its best time ever. Okay, and it was growing. We were one company here in Kuwait, and then they've expanded to be in 25 countries in like less than 5 years. Yes, almost 3-4 years. We were in 25 countries in Middle East and Africa. So this was very interesting journey. Okay, so let's look at Zen Group HR mission. Okay, we commit ourselves to building a unique human-centric model organization that attracts and retains the best talents. We tailor to our staff wants, not just needs. Okay, so not only looking for what they need, but we're trying to make them satisfy their wants as well by providing the best employee experience in the market. Okay, it was very ambitious mission by that time, and by that time the group was growing, and we're going for acquiring more operations in different countries, and we wanted to unify our mission across the whole group. So it was very challenging, okay? But because the top management, okay, and the CEO by that time, Dr. Saad Al-Barak, was having a dream to build a great empire in telecoms. That's why he was putting a lot of stress on having great HR department, because he believes in people, he believes in culture, okay? That's why he helped us or supported us to do this. Second thing regarding the vision, and you know, the vision is something where you want to be after 10 years, after 20 years, okay? So they have this model, which is very great model, what's called 5 Fs, okay? So for our employees, we're looking for them to have great future, to have fortune, to have freedom in their work, to have fun while they are working, okay? To have fitness. So we're looking for people who really fit the culture, okay, that we are building, okay? So this was very challenging, because when we are acquiring new organizations in different places, they are already working, okay? They have already their values, their culture, their performance management, everything, okay? So it was very hard to ensure that these 5 Fs are applied, especially for the fitness part, okay? From the selection, from the promotions, all the phases, okay? So the vision here is very important, okay? So the question here is that, do I need to have a vision for my HR function? It could be or not, as you like, but at least you should have the mission, okay? Why you are existing in this organization? What's the role of HR? But the vision gives another perspective, which are very looking for the future and give the people a lot of motivation as well. And the nice thing as well here is looking for the Zen brand values. Okay, so the Zen brand values were really something very great, because in Zen, it has different names in different countries, and then they decide to rebrand. Okay, so when they rebranded, they have come up with 3 main values. Okay, these were brand values, which is radiance, heart, and belonging. And then they cascaded down these values and turned it into employees' values as well. So we have customers' value from the customer perspective and from employees' perspective as well. So under the radiance, we need people who walk the talk, who are creative, they have the winning attitude, they are performing very well, okay? And then for the heart, we have tolerance, we have openness between the people working with passion, they like what they are doing, okay? They have a lot of fun while they are working, okay? And then the third brand value was belonging, which is we work as teams, there is trust, people takes ownership and they are accountable, and we are unified, okay? So what happened here, that after we put the values, we have to go and visit all organization, all operations and different functions. And we have to do some workshops there to ensure that these people, all the employees are really understand this, and to see how can this be reflected on daily work, okay? So this was very challenging. And again, this was taken and translated into part of our performance evaluation system, okay? So people, whenever we are promoting or evaluating performance, we're looking at these values and how are they applied in your work at different levels, managerial level, leaders, employees, team leaders, and so on. And also what we're trying to do is that to hire new employees, we're looking also from this perspective and try to evaluate. So whenever we are hiring, promoting, retaining, okay, or recognizing good performance, we're looking for these values, okay? So this is the main component of having strategy, to have your vision, mission, and values. I'm talking also here about the whole organization, okay, but the same applies for HR as well. So if you are in HR and there are no clear values for your organization, you have to do something like this, okay? So you have to ask yourself first, me as an HR leader, okay, or HR function, what are my objectives, okay? As Stephen Covey said, start with the end in mind. So you have to ask yourself first, regardless of all this literature or the lectures what we take and all these nice sessions, okay? You have to think, what would successful HR function look like, okay? So this is something very important you have to ask yourself. And again, as we ask it in the mission, okay, this is another thing that you have to think about, that what are the objectives of my HR department, okay? So to answer this question, you have to ask yourself also another question. What are the main roles of the HR function? This model came from Dave Ulrich many years ago, and Dave Ulrich has done some modifications even in this model and added many things. But again, I still believe that this model shows us the main ingredients, okay, of the HR function, or the main roles, what for me as an HR function, what I need to do. So we start in the beginning on the administrative partner, okay, which is this administrative partner, okay, and we have to check, which is actually most of the HR people are really doing, that they are looking for the administrative functions, okay, and these administrative functions, they take maybe most of the work of these people, and it's just like attendance and payroll and all these things. okay, which most of the people are really doing. But is this something we want to achieve or not? This is something very important. Okay, so the other part is looking for the employees champion, which is looking from the employees point of view. Okay, that you are keeping or trying to defend the employees' rights and ensuring that they are treated fairly and they have all their rights and everything is going. So maybe this part also is covered. But this part, the two parts are mainly in the operational side, okay? And if we look from the other strategic point of view, that all our organizations in this, especially in this time, hard times, they are dealing with a lot of change. Okay, again, it's very dynamic world, and we'll see some challenges for the HR after some while. But again, to lead change, to facilitate change. Okay, where you as an HR leader in this, what's your role? Okay, many organizations are totally ignoring this part, and they are not really interfering in this area. So it's very important to look at change, facilitating change, leading change, communicating while change. Okay, like for example, nowadays a lot of layoffs are happening, a lot of restructuring are going on. Are you keeping your employees informed about what's going on? What's the criteria of people leaving or staying in the organization? This is something that it's very important, and we have to play an important role there. And the most important part, which we'll be talking about later also, about to be a strategic partner. Are you part of the business, okay, or not? We have checklist at the end of the session. We'll see whether you are a strategic partner or not. But this is very important. Are you really helping the business, or you are totally working or focusing on the administrative side and not really putting a lot of pressure or a lot of importance on being a strategic partner? This is the key part, okay, for you to be an HR person or HR leader. Okay, so the question here is, which of these roles are essential for your success? What do you think? Let me know on your chat box. Okay, what do you think? Where you as an HR person in these days need to focus? Okay, where you need to focus on this? Let me know your opinion. Okay, as an HR person, let me know where you need to focus. Okay, in which of these 4 areas, or maybe you have another area, it's up to you, but let me know your opinion. Where you need to focus as an HR professional or HR leader. Okay, can you let me know in the chat box? We'll let you or keep you focusing on one area only. You have to keep the balance between the whole areas. Okay, so looking from the hard side and soft side, okay, so you always have to think of where again to focus, but again, you have to focus on keeping the balance between the hard side and the soft side. You cannot just ignore one of them, but you have to work on both of them, okay? So it's very important. So in the hard side, what we have in the hard side, we have the organizational structure, we have the policy and procedures, we have the performance management, we have the total rewards, okay? We have the new system, IT systems or digitalization projects and so on. So this is the hard side, okay? Looking from the other side, which is the soft side, we're looking for the leadership, okay? You have to focus on leadership. You have to focus on building the right culture. You have development, learning, training, motivation, alignment. Okay, so these are many roles for HR. So you have always to keep the balance and always look from this perspective, not only focusing on the admin part or the structures or payroll. So you have always to look from these perspectives. Okay, so keeping the balance is key. So the question now is, how can you develop a winning strategy for HR? So going back to the strategy part and thinking, what can we do here? Okay, what actually we need to do to develop our strategy? We have now 2 status. We have where are we now, okay, and then where we want to go. Okay, as we said in the beginning, strategy is putting the goals or putting the direction for you to the future, and then putting the actions afterwards. So you have to see where are you now and where you want to go. Then you can identify the gaps, or I always like to call it challenges, okay, that you will face, okay, or the gaps that between the current status and the future status. We can look at from the other point of view. There are all opportunities for improvement, okay? So you have to think, how can you go from A to Z, okay? Your road is your HR strategy. Your HR strategy is the thing helping you to move from point A to point Z, okay? Using the HR initiatives, okay? You will have a lot of initiatives to ensure that you are executing your strategy to get over these gaps and using these opportunities, okay? So to know where are you now, you have to think to make SWOT analysis, okay? So the SWOT analysis, which is very famous for many people, okay, shows me where are my strengths, okay, and where are my weaknesses, okay, and where are my opportunities and where are my threats. Where are the strengths that I have, me as an HR function, okay? What I have as an HR function. Maybe I have good people, okay? Maybe I don't have people, okay? Maybe I have good systems in place. Maybe everything is manual, okay? So things could be strengths, could be weakness at the same time. It depends on your situation, but you have to analyze, okay? Maybe you don't have budget, for example, okay? Maybe you don't have reports, you don't have KPIs, and so on. So it's very important to look at these points. You need to know where are you now, what strengths you have, and what weakness or challenges that you are missing or you don't have, okay? Then you look for what are the opportunities you can gain, okay, to be an HR rich function or HR valuable function, or what could be the threats that you will be facing, okay? So the SWOT analysis, you have to start, before starting doing your strategy, you have to assess where you are now and where you want to go, okay? So looking from other perspectives for the challenges that meet the HR now that we are facing, we have a lot of challenges. Actually, in this time, we are facing unexpected challenges, a lot of challenges beside what was there before. For example, now a lot of organizations are focusing on cutting costs, okay? So this will be a very big challenge for you. There's a lot of uncertainty, okay? Are we still working online or working, or go back to work at our organization, okay? We have a lot of competition now. Many businesses are shrinking, are closing. That's why many people are going into price wars. A lot of demands from customers, okay? And again, people doesn't want to work again full-time. They have their kids at school, they are home learning, and it's very hectic for them. You have a lot of say generations now working would have different expectations, okay? As we said, that people are working virtual teams, okay? You have a lot of regulations and laws for keeping the health and safety of the people. So you have a lot of challenges, okay? Also the nationalization programs, that we have to have the quota of nationals versus non-nationals, okay? People who are traveled abroad and so on. So you have a lot of threats, I'd say, challenges and threats. At the same time, what do you consider this as opportunities for you as an HR department? What do you think? Do you think these challenges can be considered as an opportunity also as well? Or do you think they are only challenges? What do you think? Let me know. What do you think? Okay. Can you turn these things into opportunities? Can you turn these challenges into opportunities? Yes, for sure. Great. These are all opportunities actually for the HR. Okay. You have a golden opportunity now for you as an HR to better position yourself. Okay. People now are really the most important asset. Okay. Because without them, now the business cannot be run now, especially. Okay, now with that there is some restrictions on travel and coming and going, you have these four people, okay, working. You cannot get people from outside. You have to keep their productivity, their motivation, and so on. So it's very high. There's a lot of uncertainty. That's why if you are good an HR person now, you can utilize this opportunity and make all these challenges as opportunities for you. Okay. Now is the betting on the winning HR. Okay. So can you do this or not? So it's very important. So you have to assess all these things and see what could be challenges for you, what could be opportunities for you, and how can you work on each one of these. So the SWOT analysis, okay, that we'll do, okay, this will help us to pave our way or map our road to achieve our strategy. So where to focus in this? Shall we focus on technology, for example? Shall we focus on improving efficiency or what? So these are very important points to consider while looking for the building strategy. Okay. Another important point when I'm looking for my strategy is thinking from the customer point of view. Okay. So one of the most important parts that we have to think of, and I want you also to write for me here in the chat. Okay. Who is your customer? Okay. Who is your customer that you want to satisfy? Tell us in the chat box also who could be your customers. The HR customers. Who are the HR customers? Employees, yes, for sure, definitely. I'm an HR. I'm serving employees. Okay, so employees are my first customer. Okay, who else could be my customer? Management, yes. Vendors could be. Okay, so management, employees. Okay, it could be that the shareholders. Okay, it could be the whole community, company owner. Yes, definitely. Yes, sure. So you are trying to serve these people. Okay, so do you know these people? What are their needs? What they really need? What are their wants? Okay, have you asked them before what you need from me as an HR department? Okay, definitely. If you ask anyone, say we need salary increase. Yes, that's the most important thing. But again, this is not actually the main need. Okay, there are a lot of things. Okay, so you have to ask yourself first: who are my customers? What are their needs? And then you ask yourself, do I have the capabilities, resources, and the knowledge, and even power, okay, to get them the rights or not? So it's very important, okay? And then you ask yourself, how can you measure their satisfaction, okay? And how can you improve your service to meet their need? Yes, the whole public, actually, we are serving communities. Actually, if you have good and strong HR department, you're serving the whole community, definitely. So what they say, yes, the regulatory, definitely as well. So what's your promise? So that's very important. What's your promise for your employees? What is your promise for your management? Okay, what's your promise for the whole community? Okay, you have to think of all these things. Okay, and then the equation is very simple and easy. If your service, okay, exceeds the customer expectations, then you are playing with value. Then your HR department is adding value. If not, then this will be very big question mark. Okay, if your service not exceeding the customer expectations, or not even meeting the customer expectations, if you don't know your customer, then you will be trouble. Then Rizwan said that, can we debate customer needs and wants? Yes, this will be another, inshallah, series that we'll take, and we'll invite you to talk in this discussion about the difference between customer wants and needs. Okay, so another question that we have to ask ourselves, what makes great HR function? Okay, what makes great HR? If you have HR function, I want really to ensure that it's really great function, you should have clear strategy, should have very well defined policies and procedures for HR. Okay, Many places, unfortunately, they still don't have policies and procedures. Maybe they are already obsolete for a long time ago. Okay, you should have competitive comp and benefits in place. Okay, to be competitive in the market and keep the good people. The way you hire, okay, and the way you putting the right person in the right place. Okay, continuous training and development, which is missing part in many organizations. Okay, you have to know the employees, keep good relation with them, help them solving their problems, be your, as we said, that your champion, please champion, listen to them, involve them, consider them as human beings, okay, and take the right action and solve their problems. Okay, these are key things for the HR function if we really care about building a great HR function. Okay, so let me take you again to another part of building the organization strategy and objectives and see what is the link between this and HR. So these are the main steps of building the strategy for any organization. So we begin by identifying the strategy and strategic objectives, as we said, vision, mission, values. Okay, and from this, we go into looking for what are the key initiatives to achieve these objectives. Yeah, for example, I'd say that I would do performance-based culture. Okay, this is my strategic objectives. Okay, so what are the initiatives? Maybe I will make salary survey. Maybe I will do performance management system, and so on. So what are these key initiatives to achieve these objectives? And then I have to define the organization structure, okay, that support this and put the right people in the right place, okay? You have to assess, are these people capable of doing this plan? Okay, do we have the capabilities, the resources, and so on, or you don't? Okay, so you have to assess people capabilities. And then you have to develop your people if there is a gap in the capabilities, and or attract new employees to help you achieve these results, okay? And then you measure and evaluate the performance of the employees and reward achievements. So these are the cascading down from the strategic objectives into the people objectives and ensuring that you are achieving results. So the question here is, you as an HR leader, and please write for me in the chat box as well, where do you see your role here in this strategic objectives cascading down into people objectives? Okay, where do you see your role here? Okay, do you think you have a role to play in all these steps? Okay, to ensure that you will achieve competitive advantage and to ensure that you will achieve the objectives, okay, of the company. Say, for example, if we want to increase our sales, okay, what's the role of HR increasing our sales? Okay, how can HR contribute in this? Okay, yes, of course, definitely, all points, we are there in all points. Okay, from identification, even from the strategic objectives. You have to tell the management, yes, we are capable, or not, we are not. Or how can we contribute in this? This means that you need to manpower plan. You put plan for the people that are needed. What are the skills and qualifications of people needed? What's the structure? What the org structure would look like? What are our retention policies? Okay, how can we motivate people and so on? So there are a lot of things that you can do here, okay, as an HR person. Okay, this is even the HR, this is the organization strategic objectives being cascading down, okay? So for me as an HR person, okay, or HR leader, if I want to build my strategy, okay, how can I build my strategy? I have to follow the same steps as well. This applies to our organization and applies for me as well. So for me, I have to define my HR strategic objectives and then define my HR initiatives, okay? And then define the org structure that I will use that I'll have in my HR department. What's the structure of my HR department, okay? Do we have the capable people? Okay, how I can attract people to join my HR? How can I develop my existing staff? Okay, how can I measure their performance? Okay, So it's very important even to follow the same steps. Let's look at this chart and think about it. Okay, it's a bit, hopefully it's not very confusing, but hopefully so here I'm looking from the business point of view, or the organization strategy and organization strategic objectives, and trying to look from the HR at the same time. So the main thing that I'd go for the strategic initiatives, okay, to achieve this strategy, the strategic goals of my organization. I have to come up with some HR strategic initiatives. I have to enhance my HR services, okay. I have to be more agile, okay. I have to see how can I support the strategic initiatives, as we said, for training people, selecting people, the time to hire people, and so on. Okay? I have to provide or help in building, supporting culture and right work environment to retain talent. I have to look how can I, again, this is something missing in many organizations, and our organizations, that facilitating or aligning between the cross-functional teams, or between the different functions, okay? For example, we always have the problem between sales and marketing, the commercial side and technical side, and so on. Who is aligning between them? Okay, who's putting the values for the culture, okay, to ensure that we are going in the right direction, okay? So these are the top 5 pillars that we can use in HR to ensure that we are taking these strategic objectives for the organization and turning this into achieving the results from revenue, profit, and growth, and everything, okay? Look, I will simplify things for you in the coming slide. Okay, now I start with the organization vision, mission, and objectives. Then what I have, I'm having my operational plan, which is the yearly plan that I have, which is the normal things that I have to develop. I have to, the payroll or the training at this timing, or performance management. So these are the daily work, HR operational plan, okay? And they have the yearly objectives, okay, budgets and everything for the payroll. And from this, I will come up with the yearly initiatives that I need to work on as HR. As you said, for example, I will start putting new system, HR system, in my HR department, or I will review the comp and benefits, the salary review, and so on. Okay, so this is from the operational point of view. Let's look from the other side. I have the organization business plan, which could be a strategy for 3 or 5 years, depending on your organization. And this, from this business plan, I have to develop or come up with my HR business plan, okay? My roadmap, okay? So for example, we say that we'll have some example afterwards, but for example, here we say that we have to improve the skills of the sales team, or improve the retention process. So this means that maybe I will do, like, for example, saving or improving the efficiency of work, or reducing the response time to the employees, and so on. So you have here define your objectives according to these objectives of the organization itself. This brings for you here the HR strategic initiatives, okay? So now you have the HR strategic initiatives that you come up with because that you have this business plan, or because of these are the strategic objectives of the organization. I look how this fits with my HR, what I need to do as an HR, okay? And I come up with my HR strategic initiatives. I also have my daily work or the operational plan, like the payroll systems or whatever. And then I take these 2 things and I put my KPIs, objectives and KPIs, okay, to see whether I'm fulfilling the plan or not. And hopefully, I would say hopefully, that this could be part of the monthly or quarterly executives dashboard. If I can do this, then I have reached a great point that HR is strategically positioned within the organization. So this chart shows us how can you take the organization strategy and try to keep the balance between the strategic objectives for the HR and the operational objectives. Okay, and hopefully you can turn this into measures, and we'll see now why very soon. Okay, so this is sample of the HR strategic objectives that we can develop. For example, say my strategic objective for the coming 3 years that I will make HR strategic partner. HR used to be a normal function. It's more of admin, and nobody really in the business care about HR, and everyone is doing whatever. They are recruiting whoever they like, and they have no salary scale, and the org structure is not respected, and everything, you name, whatever, the performance evaluation, no performance evaluation, and so on. So I decided that I'll make HR as a strategic partner, okay? So this is your strategic objectives. Rather, develop your leadership capacity. And again, from this pandemic, we have seen that companies only or organizations only with good or great leaders, they are the ones who survived well. Others, they were not very successful. Okay, so you have to develop your leadership capacity. This will take time. Okay, I'm talking about goals that they will take like at least 3 years. Okay, these are the big objectives. Then building performance-based culture. Okay, are we rewarding people for their performance, or we like them, or just it's normal process? Okay, enhancing HR services. Okay, to improve efficiency, increase our responsiveness. These are the main. Could be sample of the strategic objectives that you can do for HR. And for under each one of these, you have to define some initiatives, okay? So each one of these, okay, will be repeated for 3 years, but each year we could have different initiatives, as we said, building new system, putting a performance management mechanism, okay, making chairs for the employees, giving training for the leaders, assessment and training, coaching leaders, okay, a new rewarding scheme, okay, and so on. So these are sample of strategic objectives. Again, something very important and still missing, and really very important part of building good strategy for HR is that you measure your performance or measure your success, okay? Peter Drucker, who is the father of all the management techniques, say you cannot manage what you don't measure, okay? They say what cannot be measured, cannot be controlled, cannot be managed, cannot be improved, okay? So if you, as an HR leader, don't have measures for your HR or measuring your success, so this is really something you have to focus on and make it as a strategic objective for you in 2021 and beyond. Okay? Yes, there's one I was saying here. Yes, making HR KPIs part of the org dashboard will be an achievement. Yes, in many organizations, they don't have, actually. Again, I'll have the checklist at the end of the session, I'll say. Okay, so you have to define success. What success would look like? How can you measure success? To say that I'm successful. At the end of the day, what are your measures? Mainly, the main measures are these 3 parts are time, cost, and quality. Okay, are delivering things on time, or are you late? What the quality of your service that you are providing, quality of people you hire. Okay, what's the budget? Are you meeting the budgets or not meeting the budgets? Okay, are you cost center or profit center? Okay. And because what is going right now is we are measuring number of transactions. Say, for example, we have 500 employees. Okay, we have, this is our, the budget, or this is the actual cost of employees, and so on. Okay, where is the employee satisfaction, for example? So these are the main measures that you have to think of. Okay, and again, look from the customer point of view. Okay, for managers, what would your success look like? What are the measures? How they measure your success in HR? Okay, here I'm giving examples also, but again, there are a lot of things. Like for managers here that produce high profits, okay, through achieving the organization goals. Okay, they need to ensure that these employees are capable and they are achieving, so we are achieving the targets and getting the results and getting high profits. Okay, we have capable leaders. Okay, you're developing their capability. So this is very important point also for employees. Okay, let's people feel appreciated, recognized. They are human beings. Okay, they are not machines. That okay, take it or leave it. That's our policy here. Come on. This was long time ago. If you still like to manage this way, it's up to you. It's your decision again. But again, this is something we're talking about. It's a very important thing. Okay, how people will grow. What's their career path in the company? Okay, as you said, we have many generations. Now, how we deal with different generations. Okay, they need to link. You need to link. That's why we say in the beginning, the mission. You link their mission, okay, to your mission. Okay, so that they are giving you, working with them hearts and minds and everything. They are working very hard to achieve this. Again, I'm saying that our experience in Zen was really great because people were really attached, because it was not about telecoms. Saying it's a wonderful world. We want to make this world wonderful through communicating, connecting people, and so on. So you have to check what could be success look like. You have to ask them. You have to manage your customers' expectations. What do you expect from HR? Okay, that's very important. So here I'm giving also some sample of measures that you can use in KPIs for the HR, like employee satisfaction rate, employee engagement index. Again, these numbers actually are very challenging, because you will discover a lot of things you didn't know about. Okay, that the engagement rate is very low. Okay, it's very challenging. Okay? What are your costs? Do you know your costs per employee, or you don't know? It's very challenging. Okay, many people don't know the cost per employee. Okay, they don't know it. It's very important. You are an HR person. You don't know the cost of each employee. So it's very important. Time to fill vacancies. I asked, I need a new engineer, or I need salesperson, and so on. Okay, I will have a gap if you don't fill the vacancies in the right time. And you have to manage the expectations. You have to tell the managers that, look, if you need to hire a new person, you have to give me 1 month, for example. Saying too much for me. Okay, you have to then to negotiate and agree. You have service level agreement. What's the time you take? Okay, what's the quality of people that you hire? Are you just hiring? Okay, and then people stay for 2 or 3 months, or even don't continue for more than 1 month, and they leave the organization. Okay, all this waste of time, efforts, energy. Okay, these are costs. What's your retention rate? Okay, what's your turnover rate? Okay, what's your absenteeism rate? Absenteeism is directly connected to the organization capability to engage employees. Okay, these are interrelated. Okay, what's your responsiveness rate to employees' requests? Okay, ask something from HR. Is it self-service, or I have to wait for 1 week, or I have to leave my site, or come from branch to take a leave request, or take a certificate, or what? So these are sample of KPIs. Inshallah, we can do another session regarding KPIs, because it's very important part as well. So it's very important to have your KPIs to identify your most important thing. How can you measure success? So I'm not sure if you know about me or not, but because I'm coming from quality, OD, organization excellence background, so I always like the plan, do, check, act cycle, which is the continuous improvement cycle. Okay, and the continuous improvement cycle is really something very magical, that you have to use it in your life, in your work, HR, non-HR, whatever. Okay, so first of all, you have to do plan. We're talking about putting strategic objectives, putting KPIs, and so on. These are on the planning phase, but you have to think also of, maybe you have a lot of goals, a lot of initiatives. You have to focus on your priorities. That's why my advice to you is that for the strategic objectives, don't have more than 5. From 3 to 5 objectives could be fine. You could have a lot of initiatives under one, but again, try to focus on the priorities. What are your priorities? Okay, and this you can use the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the problems happen because of 20% of the customers, or 80% of the profits comes from 20% of the customers. So it's very important rule that to identify your priorities. And then what to think of doing. Okay, we have planned, okay, let's implement. And this is the key challenge. Again, a strategy, that you take a strategy and try to implement it is very key challenge, big challenge. Okay, so many people get very big names and big consulting companies, but at the end of the day, they are not achieving success because the problem is big challenge in the execution. Okay, so do you have the right people? Okay, have you trained them? Have you right process in place? Have you right systems? Okay, do you have the right culture, supporting culture? okay, or you have some people fighting or tapping each other in the back, or what, are working as teams or what. So it's very important to implement, okay, these objectives. Don't go very big, okay, focus and try to implement what you see. Again, here you look at the KPIs. You have to check, okay, see whether you are meeting your KPIs or not. The measures here, look at the measures. What's your response rate? What's your employee satisfaction index? What's the absenteeism rate? And so on. So you are checking, okay? But again, don't check for the hard part only, about the budget, about the time, okay? You have to look at also the communication, effectiveness of communication, effectiveness of your leadership, effective delegation, okay? These are measures for everything. So you have to check, and then you evaluate what's going right, what needs to change, and then here you either change the process, change the system, change the objectives, okay? Or you recognize people for their good performance and thank them and recognize them. Again, rewarding and celebration is something very important that we are missing, okay? In all surveys, people shows that whenever you are, the most lacking part of many organizations is people recognition, okay? So recognize people for their good work, okay? Do celebration, okay? And it's very funny to know that you have to bring food in these celebrations, okay? Because people, when they eat, they still remember better. Yes, actually, this is something, it's validated by research, actually, okay? So it's very important to reward and celebrate, and then go for the next plan and so on. So the cycle called plan, do, check, act cycle, PDCA cycle, okay, or Deming cycle, is the big scientist who has created this cycle. So by continuous improvement, you will meet, inshallah, your objectives, okay? So by the way, if you have any questions, please send it in the chat box so we can talk about whenever, inshallah, we finish this, okay? So what do we need now to achieve success? Okay, what are the resources? Okay, first of all, okay, as we said, the key challenge is the implementation or execution. Okay, you have to understand the business needs. If you are working HR and you don't know the business you are in, this is big failure. Okay, you have to understand what the business need as the whole organization and different functions. What are their priorities? Don't be someone living in the space or living in your ivory tower, okay, and you are not part of the business. You have to understand business. You have to see what are business priorities, okay? Then you go to the business, visit them, build win-win relationship with them, okay? And then ensure you have the enough budget to hire the good people, to get the good system, to compensate the good performance, not only for you, but again, for the whole organization. Again, looking for the good system in place or digitalization and all these things can really be a very big plus. People will feel that you have taken them into new era. I know it's costly, but at the same time, this can improve your efficiency. And again, this is a trend worldwide. Okay, with all this pandemic and all these problems that we are facing, I think the HR system again is very important. Okay, so do you have the right people in place? These are the most important. Do you have the right process in place? Okay, and again, the most important part is the top management support. You have to get the buy-in from your top management. Otherwise, this will be very, very important thing. Okay, so getting the top management support, but you have to convince them. But again, convincing them with just words, and you have to take care of people. People are the most important asset. People, these people talk money. Okay, what's the return on investment of people? What's the value you are adding as HR? You have to calculate this. You have to know your numbers. Okay, you have to know your numbers. Again, HR people, maybe they are good with the payroll numbers. Okay, but they are not good for the other, calculating the return on investment. It's very important part. Type. Okay, now the moment of truth. I want you to check these questions. Okay, and these are how many questions? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 10 questions. I want you to tell me in these 10 questions, which of these things that you are part of in your organization. This is like checklist to see how strategic is the HR function or how you are strategically positioned as an HR person, okay? So ask yourself these 10 questions and write for me in the chat box for 1 to 10, how many of these points are fulfilled or happening in your organization. I'm saying you are part of the weekly or monthly executive meeting. Are you? HR is involved in the strategic planning process. So whenever they get the big guys, okay, or the heads of departments, sit and do strategic plan for their organization. Are you invited in these meetings, or you just go and implement? Are your initiatives linked with the strategic objectives for your organization? Okay. Are you affecting the decision-making process? Okay. Or just you are an admin, you are implementing, and so on. Okay. Maybe you have good relation with the big boss or with the department managers, but when it comes to decision-making, you're not part of this decision-making. Okay. Do you have, as an HR, clear performance measures? Okay. To measure your performance in HR at the end of the day? Okay. Do you have the HR measures are part of the executive dashboard that whenever they sit monthly, quarterly, or whatever, weekly, okay, that there are HR measures, okay? Many people, again, they have the HR measures like number of people or maybe payroll, the budget versus actual. Again, these are nice measures, but again, this doesn't reflect your value added, okay? So you have to think of good measures. Does HR encourage strategic conversation between different functions? As you say, the alignment, okay, between different functions. No one's taking this role in the organization, okay? So HR can play as facilitator or change champion, okay? Are people coming to HR or coming to you asking for advice, okay? Are people excited whenever you have a new HR project? Okay, yes, we like to work with HR. They are improving and they are adding a lot of value, okay? Are people telling success stories about your support to them? We had this problem, but we went to go to HR and we had this, okay, when it comes to performance evaluation, when it comes for salary reviews, when it comes to people recognition, okay, building the right culture, okay? So I need to tell me, okay, please write in the chat box, out of 10, okay? Out of 10. This could be a checklist that you can do in the beginning to see whether you are a strategic partner, okay, or how strategically you are assigned in your organization, okay. I have a very low expectation, by the way. Don't worry, just let me know, and okay, or maybe you keep it for yourself as you like. If you like to share this with us, tell us. If you don't, as you wish. Okay, but again, these are very important things, okay, that you have to check whether you are really strategic partner or you are playing on a strategic level for your organization. And this also determine your value, by the way, in your organization. Okay, so I had the question before, okay, from one of our colleagues. He was telling me, or she was telling me, look, we don't have a strategy for our organization. So why do you need me to make a strategy for HR? Okay, we don't have strategy. So shall I go and make strategy for HR and the whole organization doesn't have HR? I'd say whether you have strategy or you don't have strategy, whether you are big company or small organization or mid-sized organization and so on, this from my point of view, things that you have to do as an HR person. I'd say look at your organization. What are strategic initiatives, whether they are defined as strategic or these are important things your organization are working in, okay? So 2, 3 maximum things that's very important to your organization. Then go and see how you as an HR can help them, okay, achieve these objectives, okay? What's, for example, sales people have these objectives, the maintenance people or engineering, they have these objectives, and so on. So you think from yourself, how can I help in this, okay? Also, number 3, look at people who like you, who love HR, people who are more receptive to HR. Not everyone is receptive to HR, okay? But again, look who's supporting you whenever you are in a meeting, whenever you have this side discussions, okay, verbal one, okay, ask them, okay, create win-win situation. I can help you, Okay, go to these people first. Don't have to force, okay, everyone that they have to go for HR. Again, if you don't have are not in a good position, okay, please think how can you ensure that you have a great win-win situation. Okay, again, work with them to achieve results. Then select your best people who are very qualified, motivated, brilliant people, and let them or yourself work in these projects. Okay, put some measures and ensure that you are adding value, and make this as part of your periodical reporting system. Okay, then you have to promote success stories in your organization. Okay, let others talk about your team, about your success. HR has helped me. Okay, let's people see by success stories. And again, success stories, by the way, is one of the main important elements in building the culture of any organization. Okay, so we have to promote success stories. Okay, always ask for feedback. Okay, feedback is a gift. Ask people feedback. How can we improve? Okay, learn from your mistake. Learn from every person's mistakes. Okay, so you have to check. Okay, celebrate success, reward the achievers. Okay, as we said, build on the positive side, like our dear colleague Gurli said. Okay, build on success stories, building the motivational culture, especially in this very hard time. Okay, see who's doing. Many people are doing amazing things. Okay, in spite of all the stress that we have. Okay, many people, especially people in the front office or the people who are facing customers, get these success stories, share with everyone. Okay, make people feel motivated. Okay, make people feel success. Okay, so celebrate and reward success. Okay, these are my sincere and humble advice for everyone working in HR and non-HR. Many people working in support functions have been in the quality and excellence before, and I know people working in safety or other people finance and so on. This we are all considered as support functions, okay? Because people, they have very limited way of looking at things, okay? But you have to show them the money, speak the same language, okay? Create success stories, measure it, so people can really value what you have done to them, okay? The question, maybe my last question, why you need a winning strategy for HR in 2021? Why do you think you need? Okay, here, okay, we are not saying you have strategy for HR, I'm saying winning strategy. Okay, why do you need to have winning strategy for HR? Why do you need to have winning strategy? It's all about your mindset. Okay, are you a winner? Are you as an HR leader, are you a winner? Or, okay, just doing my work and that's it, okay? Why do you need a winning strategy for HR in 2021? Okay, it's great time. It's a great time, golden chance with all this dynamics and changes, pandemic and all these things. It's great time for HR, for you to position yourself in your organization, to rise as a leader, okay, taking the lead, okay, motivating people, putting systems in place, seeing how you care for people, so people feel your empathy for them. So it's your time to position yourself. If you don't take your position now, or people are not really appreciating you now, when they will appreciate you, okay? Add value to your organization. Let people see the value from HR, from yourself as a leader, okay? Let people feel the value from you. Actually, you don't have to be the HR manager or the leader of HR. Anyone working in the HR, anyone working actually in any department, it's time to make people feel the value, okay? Add the value to the people that you're working with, as we said. Recognize people in the first fronting clients, okay? Okay, support them. Let them see, okay, how they are important. You care for them, care for their health and safety, okay? Let people see it. Leave a legacy. When you ever leaving your organization, let people talk about you and about what you have done for them, how you added value to the HR, your organization, for them personally, okay? So it's a great and golden opportunity, okay? At time of crisis, leaders rise, okay? It's time to rise. It's time to take responsibility, to take the lead, okay? So it's very important that to look, and now the right time. Now we are almost end of September. Soon people will start doing their stretches. Okay, it's your time. It's your time now to start building a legacy. So again, I like to finish this on motivational. So Who will say yes or no? Who is ready to build his or her legacy? Okay, who is ready? Write for me in the chat box. Who is ready to build legacy? Great. Ready. I need people who are ready. I need people who are motivated. Actually, you are the one who are motivating others. Okay, so you have to be ready to do this. Build your legacy. Okay, great. I have great people with me in all the groups that I'm in. So I'm sure. Okay, that everyone's ready. I know that people are very enthusiastic. Okay, I say yes, you can. Everyone can. Okay, there are simple things that all of us can do. Okay, it's very important. Okay, but you have to start with your mindset first. Yes, you can. All these technical issues, you can do it. Okay, but your mindset that yes, you can, and then you can develop, okay, strategy, objectives, and lead your functions. You can lead the whole organization. All people in all organizations are really in your responsibility. I'd say it's your main responsibility to care for people and to take their problems up to the management and talk with them and get the rights. Okay. And again, with all these problems that happening, okay, and with all this pandemic, people are in very hard situations. Okay, it's your main responsibility to take people rights and defend their rights and to be honest, huh, and responsible. Okay, tell the people, okay, that these are we should care for our people. Okay, okay. So it's very important. So yes, we can, and I'd like to thank you for this, and hopefully all these problems, technical problems, haven't affected the flow of the presentation. So I'd like to thank you so much. And if you are interested in this topic and the strategy topic, maybe we'll do some more in-depth building strategy session again. And yes, inshallah, I will send the presentation, no problem. And inshallah, we'll have things, we'll put it on YouTube, also in our channel as well. So no problem about this. But actually, what I really need you to do is that please, if you have any questions first, please let me know. And but please take this into action, okay? Implement this. Don't take this as another lecture and at the end of the day, okay, you have the PowerPoint and then you have the maybe the video and that's it, and it's very nice. I hope this, inshallah, will help us change our mindset and also have good intention to start planning for our next year and see our role as HR leaders or leaders in general, not only in HR, okay, and take the right action, okay. And if you are interested, again, please let me know and I will send you also as well, okay, see who is interested to go in more depth into this, inshallah. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I thank you so much for all your efforts. Okay. Any questions for me? Hopefully, inshallah, we're adding all value to everyone. And if you have any questions still, please feel free to send me and I will send you the presentation, inshallah, and the video, the recording of this session, inshallah. Okay, thank you so much and wishing you all the best. And inshallah, work together to make this world a better world with all our contributions. Thank you so much and best of luck for everyone. Thank you.